Good morning. Beautiful day out today. I'm a little tired. Oh my God, he's pulling me in the mud. Anyways, it's a good day because I woke up, I took him outside, and I saw an old man walking, and he was walking with a smile, and he said, "Good morning," and what a good way to just greet somebody to their day. I just deposited a couple hundred at the bank, and now I'm gonna go home and do my finance management because rent is due and also my phone bill, and I don't have enough to cover it. And yesterday I spent like $300 plus on protein just because it's an early investment, it's limited stock, so I believe I'll be able to make a profit, but who knows how long that would take. And I spent that after not even having enough to cover rent, and I'll tell you why. I know I'm gonna have to fall back on my backup plan, which is to sell some crypto. I invested when I was younger, so luckily I have some crypto to sell. Not a ton, but enough for cases like this, which I've never came across, but it's just been sitting there. And true, in years and years and years from now, it'll probably grant me a big return. But here's the problem. Let's say you are in bed, and if it is room temperature, you're not gonna move because you're comfortable. But let's say it is too hot. If it is too hot, it's gonna force you to get up and to put on the fan or the AC. If it's too cold and even the blanket isn't enough, then it's gonna force you to get up and put on the heat. So you're either somewhere in the middle or at one of the ends. And I'm not at one of the ends, but if I was, that would force me to take action. It's been a month since I've lost my main job, and I've considered getting a second job, but I really want to aspire and strive to cover myself and work for myself. If I get another job, that's gonna make me comfortable, and then I'm just gonna be stuck in that, and I'm not gonna be working for myself. I want to break out of this cycle, and in order to do so, I have to put myself into the deep end. I have ideas, I just have to take action.
Yeah. EOM, man, I like to drink a lot. A lot of people like to party and shit. But lately it's just been getting ridiculous, man. Yo, I spent all my money on women and wine and didn't give enough time to the rhythm and rhyme. I stay focused on the nickel and dime. I should be Benjamin thinking, but when I get them, I be spending them drinking, and then I wake up feeling nervous and lifeless. A thin line between worthless and priceless. When my life gets confused and ahead of me, I don't ever solve problems, I just start boozing heavily. In San Diego, I got off work every day at round 4, and every single day the road worker next door come home with an 18-pack of Miller High Life. I said my life's headed down a path that's way too similar. I'd prefer not to end up like him, and not look up and I'd cringe. But every time I try to change, I say fuck it and binge. That's my life. I've been with you so long.
Last night I did a ton of organizing my apartment, but I also organized this list of a bunch of priorities for my day. I don't know how many I'm gonna get done, but I'm gonna try to get as many as I can done, and whatever I can't get done, I just transfer over to the next day. Pretty sure that's the man from this morning I was talking about. Anyways, I did some finance management, so that's good. But I got offered to train a client, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Just finished my session, and I just gotta say, I feel amazing. It was like an ideal client. It was an older gentleman, not too old, he was like 38, but he wasn't very educated in the fitness realm, and I was able to just teach him so much, and it just made me feel good, and of course made him feel good as well. I think he wants to go outside, but I'm not entirely sure. You wanna go outside? What, out there? You wanna go outside? Oh. Okay. Wait, let me get this straight. You wanna go out there? It's 4 p.m., so it's not ideal to be having energy drinks this late, but I'm folding.
Beer as a kid, and they say times change, and it's clear that they did.
I love that I can just talk and use YouTube as my voice. I can just talk, and I realize if I just talk long enough, eventually people will listen. Eventually people will hear what I have to say. It's literally so freeing. Anything I want to share, I can just talk to a camera, and who knows who sees it. Maybe nobody, maybe everybody. If you saw yesterday's video, I tried this because this and this are discontinued, so once these are out, they're never going to be made again. I bought 2 12 packs of the Swedish Fish version, and they don't even have it here, so that's a good sign. Since it's 4 p.m., I'm just going to get 200 milligrams. I usually get the cherry slush, but I think I'm going to go for the pink slush. All right, you already know what the deal is. That is very good. It's almost like cotton candy. It's really good marketing. Like, the can just looks appealing. They're strawberries. I suppose that's what I taste. I'd have to try this and the cherry slush to compare, but I think it's safe to say they're both 9s. Even though I have to sell some crypto, which is kind of an uneasy feeling, I honestly feel pretty great, and it's because I've been putting in good input today. And whenever you put in input, you just feel really good about yourself. And I'm putting in input in different realms, so I'm gradually growing in different realms. I also want to add that I feel great because I'm organized. I stayed up till 3 a.m. organizing a ton, so I'll show you what I organized. I feel like whenever you're organized, you're just really projected to excel. So I got some of my electronics here. I'm missing like my flashlight and my GoPro because it's in my backpack, but this is basically like a charging station. And then I got my setup, my laptop, which is connected to my monitor. This I got to connect to my Wi-Fi later. And a bunch of papers I organized. So like this is what I showed earlier. I got my finance management paper, some other finance. Then I have my Rocketbook, which has some old information that I can still use. I have all these notes from when I was working at the country club of all the advice I got from the country club members. So I do want to make a video where I share that. Then here's some old scheduling and graphs that I did. So that way I can organize what input I should be inputting in. Like this, for example, that's an old routine. Focus sheet, focus, focus. And this is like my business notebook. I got some business ideas, visualization, and here I have some other business ideas. Then on this side, I have basically affirmations and then an old gratitude list. But yeah, I just feel like being organized makes a huge impact on your growth. And then over here, I have a cool little spot. Like I can bring this up so I can look out the window and I can also read if I want. And then I have a journal. This is the main book that I'm reading right now. Another journal, a notebook, and a vocabulary builder. And this is honestly where I've been editing lately. That took a ridiculously long time, but I finally got my rent paid. I had to transfer all these different types of crypto through all these different types of networks. And I finally converted them all to cash and then transferred it to PayPal and then paid with PayPal. And there were just so many fees and such a headache, but it's taken care of. And now that I got my bills taken care of, it's only up from here. So now I have to edit, and that's going to take forever, but it must be done. I must ensure my input. Every single video I make is adding to my resume, and the more I put in, the more I get out. Super nice right now, but I bet it'll be dark when I'm done. I just finished editing my video. Luckily, it didn't take as long as I thought it would, but now I'm gonna contradict myself. At the beginning of this video, I talked about how if you are in the middle, you're gonna be comfortable and you're not gonna do anything. And I'm in the middle, and I wanted to put myself on one of the ends so that way I do something. But my grandma really preached to me that I get this job at this certain restaurant because it's one of the nicest restaurants in town, and that's what I was before, was a server. And I just saw they have a position opening, so I know I probably should go apply. I called them and she said I can come in and fill out an application. So I need to do that. But first I need a groom because that is also something that is on my priority list, because I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of chopped. All right, a lot better, I'd say. What do you think?
Diamonds on my choker, diamonds on my necklace. Diamonds, they be shining, boy, they so precious. I secure the bag, then I go get it. I secure the bag, then
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that went excellent. I had an informal interview, so in a couple weeks, he's gonna be back from vacation, and then hopefully I get a formal interview, but my confidence is high. A wise man once said, you have to reach the lowest lows to reach the highest highs. Blow your nose, dry your eyes, but ignore that second part, just the first part. And I believe that's what I am in, is the lowest low, because it's been a long time since I've been this broke. I have investments, but cash wise, I don't have any. And it's stressful. I'm not stressed, but it is stressful. But I do believe that this is the lowest I get. I believe it is only up from here, because I'm going to be training clients. Hopefully I get this job. And there's just a lot more that I plan on doing. And whenever I do it, I believe that it will result in more growth. And I do believe eventually I will find what I need to do in order to explode that growth until I never even reach near this ever again. Maybe somebody watching this is going through something similar, and I just want you to know, as long as you believe in yourself, it will be okay, because you are capable. All you have to do is stay sedulous.